Welcome back. Another week. Pregame.tv. Steve Fezzik, Bryan, Leonard, Vegas runner. These guys are tearing it up. Success in contests. VR is second in the LVH contest, the one that I won twice.
Two times champ.
I'm gonna have a
two-time.
I'm gonna have a. No, not going to be a third time this year. I'm gonna have a Phil Hellmuth moment if I can. We are going to be talking about the Thursday night game. We nailed the Jets to the under last week. We're hoping to come back hard with this game here with Frisco at the Rams. But before we do that,
give it to me.
Nice job with the Jets last week, guys. We had consensus.
Nice.
Everyone was on it.
I wasn't here last week.
You would have had it.
Yeah, you would have had it.
If you were here.
Well, no, I kind of like the under.
You'd have been all over
I know you like the under. I know you're.
You'd have been all over it if you were here.
But here's the thing. It's like I know you did well in a contest and you're staying under the radar with that. No, we're not yet. But
2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Have you ever won a contest in Las Vegas 2 weeks in a row?
No.
Case closed.
Yes, I know you're cleaning up there in North Las Vegas, an undisclosed location.
They're actually not in North Las Vegas. That's actually.
They're north of North Las Vegas.
They're almost in Utah.
They're almost
what kind
in
of contest is
Utah.
Is it a straight-up contest or a
He's picking straight-up winners. He can't pick winners against.
Yeah,
but it's against like 80,000 people.
No,
right?
not this one. But the thing is, 2 weeks in a row, either I or my wife have won. I do all the picking. There's NFL contests. I've been terrible on the last 2 Sundays. I can't pick against a spread and win straight up.
That's what happens to people when they start looking at things straight up. That's what happens to people when they start crossing over and playing fantasy football and they're not betting props. If you're going to study fantasy, just bet props.
I agree.
If you're going to study fantasy, don't lay 11 to 10. If you're going to do straight up contests, don't look at ATS. Parlay money lines or something.
You're winning with your straight up contest. You're winning on the in second place. I'm going to have like the Phil Hellmuth moment. Remember when Hellmuth, like everyone else, is winning at the poker table
and he's losing?
Stupid. And he's like, go compete. This is supposed to be the world champion of handicapping, and you put it all in with king, queen, and you get there. That's embarrassing. It's just.
I had Carolina.
It's just embarrassing for everyone.
You had Carolina?
I had Carolina over
you squeaked that one out, but it's you probably
I had Carolina. I had the Dolphins.
What did you have? Yeah, that was the right side. Here comes Bryan out. It looks more like.
I had the Browns. The Browns. What's the +5 and it closed like 7.
What's the orange juice gal? Like more like Anita Bryan trying to get that field goal up 3. If you had the Atlanta Falcons, who just move on to the NBA right now. The Sacramento
NHL.
Kings. He's a minority owner. That might be your sport because it's not your year if you had Atlanta, because they had no chance Miami to cover that game. None. 0. I digress. The game we're talking about is Thursday night. We nailed Bryan. I'm sorry. I know you like the under.
You'd have been all over it if you were here.
You would have been all under if you were here, but you were AWOL, so you get no credit. You get none.
We
swept. Good job. Here we have another game. Let me set the table a little bit here. Last year, everybody talks about how, Frisco, 4-1-1 in the division. Not Frisco, the Rams. The Rams, blah, blah, blah. And it's like they hit, and like we have a friend, Alf Mosqueda. And Alf's always like, you got to watch the games. It was 10-2. The game was over. Kaepernick's running out the clock. They run a pitch out to the left, and he throws the most god-awful pitch over the running back's head. Boink, boink, boink. A Ram jumps on it, rolls in the end zone. 10-10. Down the field, Kaepernick goes. They kick a field goal. They win 13-10, except for they rough a guy in the final 20 seconds. Greg the Leg hits like an 88-yard field goal, and somehow then Akers misses a field goal in overtime. Long story short, the Rams, they tie in, they beat them, right? San Francisco won the game 3 times, and yet the Rams got the W. So grain of salt saying that the Rams dominate.
Right.
But this is a good spot. Thursday night. Let's start with Bryan. Bryan, we were talking last week when you were AWOL about how we like the favorite and we like the under in these short weeks. But does that apply here in a divisional game?
Well, you like the favorite if it's the home team.
And on a road team, yeah.
Yeah.
The favorite if it's the home team. Right?
Yeah, you want the home
short
team, and you want the. In fact, we like the unders in these during the Thursday games, and it's even better when you're playing the divisional games because they know each other very well. My only concern regarding the total in this game, there's really no, on the side, at least to me, there's really no value at the current number because the line should have been 4. San Francisco is clearly the better team. They haven't played well so far. But even if you're looking to play the under here.
Likely the better team.
Likely the better team. We can't say for sure.
On paper.
But if you're looking to play the total here, and normally you would play the unders here, take a look at that San Francisco defense. I mean, San Francisco, the last 9 games, they've been getting tore up. And now Aldon Smith is going to be not playing in this game, let's just say. I won't go into his personal matters. But he's not playing, and he's the guy that puts pressure on the quarterback. I have concerns about playing the under here because the total's so low. But we will see. Whose play is this anyway?
Here's what I worry about the total. I'm starting to hear a lot of. I was at the sports book yesterday, and someone recognized me and said under on Thursday, right? And
the word's getting out.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And all of a sudden, once the recreational bettors start jumping on a trend, usually the value is going to be gone. You know, you want, as a professional bettor, to find those little gems that haven't been accounted for yet. But once they start being accounted for in the line, I think that the value starts to be gone. You know, like maybe this total would have been a little bit higher had this not been such a well-known trend by now. As far as San Fran, I'm not comfortable laying points with them on the road. I don't know if I want St. Louis as a home dog the way they've played the first 3 weeks. I mean,
especially in the first half.
Exactly. And this is a team that falls behind 21 points every single week. But San Fran, to me, is looking not even mediocre. I mean, in week 1, they beat up on Green Bay and Kaepernick.
Miracle cover, beat up. They're up 3 and miracle cover with the long pass completion.
Yeah, exactly.
So we comfortably should have won.
Right, but as far as Kaepernick, you know, the second coming, and all of a sudden
played a good game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now we've seen maybe that, and what I like to say about this year's option quarterbacks is you're starting to see defenses throw packages at these kids they've never seen before. They don't have experience to be able to handle it. Last year, they surprised everyone. But like Ray Lewis was saying on an interview, you give a veteran defensive player and a veteran defensive coordinator about a year to study film, and now all of a sudden, he's coming up with defenses these quarterbacks have never seen. So maybe they have an offense we had never seen, but now they got to beat a defense they never saw.
And most of these most of these quarterbacks that are doing that are young quarterbacks.
Exactly.
So they don't have the veteran.
And there are no old scrambling quarterbacks because they'll get killed.
Well, Michael Vick, is he considered?
He was in prison for 4 years. He kind of had.
He got that rest.
Well, and he was in prison for 4 years and didn't get killed.
That rest.
That's right. It was safe as
PC, protective custody.
You know, sometimes they say like my mom always tells me this. Like I said, oh, this is horrible. I lost Pittsburgh on Sunday night. It's a disaster. And she says perhaps. And I go, what do you mean perhaps? And she says, you never know. It could have been the best thing that happened to Michael Vick. Maybe he winds up getting a concussion. He's out of football.
Right.
Whatever. You know, this helps straighten him out his life. But the bottom line is a lot of these quarterbacks, I think, realize life is a lot easier to be making McDonald's commercials, you know, off the scoreboard, through the goalpost, than to be out there running and getting hit 8, 9, 10 times a game. And I think like the poster child for that is Seattle's quarterback, who I think does a great job of picking his spot.
He does.
And rush and going 3rd and 8, he'll scramble for first down, scoot on out of bounds, Russell Wilson. And he's a smart cookie.
Yeah, he is.
Versus
not trying to win the game by himself.
Right, whereas like Jay Cutler took a hit on a totally unnecessary hit where I thought he might get decapitated and he just got popped up. So that was a tough hit. You see that every now and then. Good for team morale. They see the quarterback laying it on the line. Here, the thing of it, I'm looking at this game as Harbaugh off a loss.
Yeah.
Is a dead not under. Every time that he's off a loss, and they say, well, Indy's put 27 on him last week. Well, they put 13 on him for the first 57 minutes. He gives up no touchdowns or 1 touchdown until the very end of the game. Consistently off a loss. That's been his MO. He's been shutting people off. He's off back-to-back losses. He will emphasize defense.
I agree.
And he will. And Kaepernick is going to say, look, our defense. I know we're missing Smith, but our defense should be able to carry the day. And the Rams, all those skill position players that we talked about how the Rams were going to go under. We did a video on that about how well that they were going to play eventually with Austin and after they had some time, and Cook. But it's just going to take a while for these guys to go ahead and develop. And the chemistry's not there. Look at that Dallas game. What a disgrace! Like the sharp NFL bettors, like we all took 4 on the Rams.
Everybody was on.
I couldn't give it out because the 4
was gone
so fast.
Gone.
It's like I don't want to take 3.5. They're cutting in line to take 3.5, lay $1.30. I'm like, you know. Phil Hellmuth, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them. It's like I talked to Marco. Marco's like, I laid the 3. Yes. Thank you very much. So you mentioned the total. We're not getting as much value. I'm still going to make it official. You guys are on board or not on board?
I'm on board. I'm not going the other way.
I'm passing on it.
All right. 1-0-1. We'll take it. Let's make it official. Okay, the word is out Thursday night. You lean towards the under. I'm a little concerned when teams know each other well, division rivals. However, division rivals also play lower scoring games in general. In this situation, I'm going to bank on the Harbaugh trend. He loses a game. He brings the focus defensively. He's more careful with the ball, shut down the turnovers. It's been cashing under winners game after game after game. We're going to try to get it here. Go ahead and go under 42 here in town. It's dropping. Everyone's starting to know about it. I would not wait. Go ahead and grab it now. You're not getting the best number, but you're not going to be getting the worst number either. It is my free play for Thursday night.
I love that advice about getting on it early because you're starting to see it drop half point. And I think that trend's going to continue.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys want to talk a little college football before we go back to the NFL?
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right, stay with us. Pregame.tv. We're going to be breaking down Thursday night matchup. Bryan Leonard, Middle Tennessee State at BYU, right off the Holy War. This is a game we always talk about. You got to bet this immediately. You got to bet it now. This one, I think you can wait until post. Stay with us. Pregame.tv.